Alright, this is my first go of making a recipe video for the recipe challenge. We got 85 grams of pastrami, we got 1.5 ounces of cheese curds, we got 200 grams of fries. You don't need all this stuff. You could just lash all this away on like a baking sheet to get it cooked. But I'm gonna put it in the air fryer at 360 for 12 minutes. It's gonna rotate. So we're gonna set this air fry, rotate on start for 12 minutes into our air fryer. You can do whatever you want, but we're gonna come over here. You take your 85 grams of pastrami, okay? You're just gonna cut it up into little pieces, little tiny chunks, okay? Nothing crazy. It doesn't need to be perfect. You can just rough chop it. You know, as long as they're smaller pieces. Here's the pastrami. We are using an exercise here called mise en place, which just means everything's in place. You know, we're just getting everything prepared before we start cooking. You know what? Maybe nobody will see this. Maybe I'll post it just to embarrass myself. Because you know what? We're all here for the same thing. But we got the cheese, we got the pastrami, we got the potatoes working. So we got the 3 main ingredients. But the one thing we're missing for poutine style fries is the gravy. So let's start doing that. Now before we work on the gravy, which is super important, we're gonna start heating up the pastrami. So the pan, the pot that we're gonna use for the gravy, we're gonna go ahead and preheat that. Turn it to like a medium high, like a 6 out of 10, you know, nothing crazy. It doesn't need to get ripping hot, just hot enough to kind of render some fat out of the pastrami. Now, in order to make the gravy, we're gonna use beef tallow. I don't have much left, but this is like leftover beef tallow from just like what I'm regularly cooking. You can go buy your own beef tallow. It'll be pretty much the same thing. But we're gonna use about a tablespoon of this. It's gonna make a bunch of gravy. It's not gonna make 1 serving of gravy. It's gonna make like 8 servings of gravy. So you can tone it down or do whatever you want. But we're gonna make 8 servings of gravy because I love gravy. And just so we're clear, in order to make the gravy, you need equal weight fat and flour. 1 tablespoon of that tallow is 12.8 grams. So if you want to be precise, you weigh out 12.8 grams of flour, which I will do because every calorie counts. We're just gonna get the pastrami nice and hot, nothing crazy. There's not a lot of fat on pastrami. Just kind of does its thing. It's telling me to add the food, but it's already in there. Part of the process. I put it in while it's preheating. It gets the oil hot. That way when it starts blasting it, it's good. It gets crispy. Poutine has a tendency to get soggy because you're pouring gravy over fries. And that's fine, but we don't need that, you know? Then, as a bonus, for all you at home, that's Bear. She can have some pastrami because I love her. Right on the money. Perfect. Yeah, so now we're with the pot on low. We're gonna go ahead and pop this in there. Try to get everything out of whatever you're using. Now the fat's gonna melt, it's gonna incorporate into the flour. We're gonna keep stirring it until it gets nice and bubbly. And that is what we call a roux. You guys are hanging out of my microwave because this is scuffed, but now that it's kind of getting fluffy and bubbly, it's getting hot, I don't smell the flour anymore. It's been probably about 2 to 3 minutes. We're gonna go ahead and slowly add the stock or the broth. whatever you are using. And you're just going to keep stirring it. Usually you would have a whisk. I do not have a whisk. See how immediately that's flaring up, that's becoming like a thick gravy. That's too thick, so we're going to add more. About another half cup. Some fresh cracked pepper. My dog is pretending to dig through her bed right now. Look at that. There's a beautiful gravy right there. Not too thick, not too thin. It's pretty, I don't want to say it's pretty perfect, but it's pretty perfect. We're going to go back in here with this little guy. If we touch it, we don't want it to glaze the spoon. The gravy will get thicker as it cools. So, but fries go in. Cheese curds go in. 1.5 ounces of cheese curds, 200 grams of fries. Next, our hot pastrami. Not spicy hot, just temperature hot. Right in there. Traditionally, poutine has no meat. Adding meat makes it not poutine. That's why I keep calling it poutine style. I will come up with a very creative name. Then we're going to take a 1/4 cup of this. Boom. This right here is Bob's fantastic poutine, or whatever I choose to name it. Hell yeah. Okay, I forgot to record from my phone, so we're back in my room, my beautiful, beautiful room, where you can hear me very much better than my phone. I'm about halfway through this. It's a lot. It definitely tastes like more because it's delicious. I mean, look at that cheese pull. That's what you use the curds for. Mozzarella's not going to cut it. I will now put nutrition facts for the fries, the pastrami, the cheese curds, and the gravy right here. And then right here in the middle, wherever I am right here, I'm going to go ahead and put full recipe. 673 calories, 36.5 grams of protein, 54.3 grams of carbs, 30 grams of fat, and a whole bunch of other stuff we got going on. We got good sodium, good potassium, got good iron, good calcium. We got a little bit of folate, a little bit of vitamin A, a little bit of fiber, 14%. It's beautiful. It's magnificent. Richie in the Dial community, I hope you consider my fries as the best thing you've ever seen. I could have done more, but I thought, let's keep it simple. Let's not get too fancy. Nice, simple, quick. You do it all at once, under an hour. Maybe 20 minutes tops. And it's banging. Adios.